Welcome back to our 2-minute Devos. We are in day number 7 of our 40-day journey of prayer here at K-First, and I'm pumped that you've joined us today. If you look at your prayer journals, you'll see that we are in Psalms number 100. Psalms 100 is only 5 verses long, but there's some great stuff in here. And I've kind of zeroed in on verse number 4 because there's some really, really deep things going on. If you look here, the psalmist writes, "Enter into his gates with thanksgiving, go into his courts with praise, give thanks to him, and praise his name." It sounds very simple, and immediately your mind goes for the theme of that verse, which is gratitude. But there's something that I don't want you to miss before we get to gratitude. He uses words like gates and courts, and that's important because the listeners, the readers of that day would have recognized those things because of the temple. Now, the temple is where the presence of God was at. It was inside this room called the Holy of Holies, and what you had to do is you started off at the gate. There's only one gate to get to the Holy of Holies, and you went from the gate into the courts, and from the courts into the inner place, from the inner place into the Holy of Holies. You had this method, you had this process of getting to the presence of God, but you always began at the gates and the courts. And what David is saying is this, he's saying when you come to God, when you are approaching God in prayer and worship, there should be an attitude about you, and the attitude shouldn't be entitlement, it shouldn't be pride, it shouldn't be selfishness. The attitude should be gratitude. Why? What does gratitude do for us? It fosters humility in our lives. It fosters that idea of being thankful. I have received something I didn't deserve. Somebody gave me out of their grace and mercy and poured something into me that I lacked. And when we have that attitude of gratitude, that gratitude then gives us altitude above pride. It helps lift us up above entitlement. It lifts us up above selfishness. So that's something I want you to Selah on today, to stop, pause, and think. How can we foster more gratitude? Because as we approach God, that attitude of gratitude will lift us up above the things that want to poison us, pride, selfishness, entitlement, and puts us in a place where we can graciously, simply receive from Jesus Christ. That's all I've got today. Walk with an attitude of gratitude, and we'll see you tomorrow as we continue our series.